it may sound bad, but like my whole identity is kind of surrounded by like I'm a football player. Like I played professional football.
Yeah.
For the rest of my life, I can say that, and like I have like pride in that.
Yeah.
And like,
And nobody's going to question it when they see you.
No.
Makes sense. Yeah, he played.
and I have no regrets. Like I'll play.
Yeah.
I have no regrets.
How many years did you play?
I played 3 years, and like I said, I played many games like in the CFL. I remember like it got really bad to the point where like I was actually making plays and I couldn't see at all out there.
Yikes.
And I was like, this is like this is like a movie. This is like this is something out of a movie right now. Like
That's next level, man. Making plays basically blind.
Yeah, I was literally couldn't like. I'm not even exaggerating. Like people may think like this guy's just trying to sound hard on this podcast.
Yeah.
Just trying to sound like I'm not even kidding. Like this.
We
this
have a
happening.
reputation of just bringing on hard winners here. So,
Yeah. 100%.
yeah. So you're going through that. You're obviously concussed. You start experiencing more symptoms during this time.
Yeah.
So let's get into I guess maybe before we go there, let's talk a little bit about, you and I've talked about the experience of you saying to the training or the athletic coordinator, I forget who it was, about the concussions, about side effects that you were having.
Yeah.
And you were having this discussion with them, and nothing was really done. It was a contract year
Yeah.
for you. So walk us through that. You're experiencing concussion symptoms. You have a long history, which maybe they didn't know.
Yeah.
Maybe they did, but you're experiencing this throughout your whole professional career.
Yeah. So like my 3 years in the CFL, I technically don't have any documented concussions in the 3 years.
Interesting.
I didn't not one time. So you go from getting like 8. So like Virginia, like first like all my documented concussions were like the first 2 years. So like 8, like I had like something like 7 or 8 in the first 2 years, and then from there on, I just nothing
On record.
on record.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
And I mean, it's fair to say, like, these other players were telling you that that's common. They don't say anything.
yeah.
So is this a common thing in football? Like, was this like a one-off, or is this something that's rampant within the organization?
I think a lot of guys are like you may be shocked to hear what I'm saying, but I think there's a decent amount of guys that are doing the same thing.
Oh, for sure.
That are playing through concussions, having the same symptoms, and they're going to come out with their story when the time comes, and they're going to be like, yeah, like I was bleeding out my eyes one game, and I just kept playing. Like I guarantee you, there's stories like that. Like I'm not the hardest dude who plays football. Those dudes are way crazier than me.
Oh, for sure.
I'm very driven, and I like to think that this means I'm very driven, but like there are guys that are way dumber than me. Like what I did was dumb. Let's just be real. What I did was stupid.
Yeah.
But like I don't regret it.
No. And
Well, we all do dumb shit. When
wait. YouTube, keep us on, please. Yeah, I mean, it's fair to say that any athletics that you're going to have a lot of athletes that are covering up injuries because it does take away their market value of potential earnings.
Yeah.
And so you got to a point where you're 3 years in, you have all these post concussion and current concussions at the time symptoms. How often do you think you were concussed in the CFL? 3 years. If it was 50 during 4 years at Virginia, how often do you think you were concussed during your CFL
I'm not sure.
career?
I will say I did get smarter. I started using my hands more. I try not to get my head involved too much on some of the hits.
Yeah.
I was a lot smarter.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's hard to count. Like, I mean, I had quite a few, like, still. But, like, I got to the point where, like, I was, like, I wasn't rattled. Like, I get concussed and I wasn't seeing it, but I was, like, very calm and collected. And I was, like, comfortable being uncomfortable.
You worked through that fear of the 2 concussions in a game. You worked through that.
I just remember, like, a lot of times, like, after games, I just remember feeling out of it, and guys wanted to like go out, and I wanted to go out and have fun, and like I just like couldn't really do it.
So what was the culture? You're talking about the guys wanted to go out, and two-part. What was the culture like in the football community in D1 compared to the culture that you saw in the CFL players?
So the biggest thing I would like to point out is like the best thing about the CFL, like 100%, is in the CFL for Winnipeg, we would pick certain cities in which they would let us stay overnight there. Like in division football, they would never let like college guys go out and party, right? No. So we would like Montreal, 100%. We go to Montreal, we play in Montreal, we all go out. We get like the club, we go to the club, and it was just insane. We go out to Montreal, like Toronto, Vancouver, Calgary was actually pretty good. Like those places for sure. We would not go out in Saskatchewan.
Like nah, pass.
Saskatchewan is like it's weird. They don't even have like tall buildings.
Yeah,
there's like no infrastructure there. It's weird.
The plains. Yeah. Have you ever been out there?
Not Saskatchewan.
Yeah, it's a different. People are amazing, absolutely amazing out there. The when you go through there, though, he's right. Like
it's weird.
It's like looking at low-rise buildings everywhere.
It's almost creepy, you know.
Yeah, it's not like a city.
No.
It's weird.
And it's over 1 million square miles. You know,
they have all the square mileage.
Yeah, it's interesting out there. What was your favorite city to play in then?
To like go out in or play in? Like
play. We'll start with playing.
Probably Ottawa because like family and whatnot.
Yeah,
but
and you'd have a big turnout.
Yeah, a lot of family.
Yeah, so then to party.
Montreal.
Yeah.
Montreal. Yeah, Montreal is a different world. I think bars and stuff open a lot later. I'm not a big partier. I've never really been, but like after a win, like you're like, if you don't go out with the boys, you're just like a bad teammate.
Yeah.
I was always pride myself on being a good teammate. I'm not going to just not like stay in and not be with the guys.
But when you were playing Montreal, I mean, did they not win the cup one of those years?
Who?
Montreal.
No, that was like long before that. They won like.
They won after that?
Montreal never won when I played in the CFL.
No?
Like Calgary and like won it, and Ottawa won it. Calgary won it, and then like Ottawa I think won it. I don't know.
Did you ever try and get traded to Ottawa?
No, I liked it at Winnipeg.
Yeah.
The thing I miss the most about football is like not the game itself, is the guys. Yeah. You miss like the brotherhood with the guys, and that's why I went into firefighting after I retired from the CFL.
Yeah.
I got certified to be a firefighter.
That's cool.
Because I wanted to have that like brotherhood. I missed the brotherhood.
What? And we'll talk about that in a second. So what happened back to concussions? You then went to...
So yeah, I mean, I'm sure you guys are sick of hearing about the concussions, but basically the way this story ends, just like the way it started. I got a concussion my first game. The last game, what happened was I got hit in my shoulder really bad, and like my shoulder like came out.
Yeah.
And my shoulder was really messed up, and I kept playing with the shoulder. And what happened was I couldn't use this arm properly. So it was like a kickoff return where you had to block the dude coming full speed on you. Yeah. And there was every team you have I call them werewolves. Every team has a couple of werewolves where they like do not care about their body. They'll come down there full speed. They don't even care if the ball's not even close to them. They just want to come down there and destroy you and look good on tape for the next, because after you watch tape of your teammates. Yeah. And you watch them, and you like, if you're like the guy who like lays people out, your teammates like give you a lot of recognition and validation. Yeah. So actually, the one year it's called knockdown. When you knock someone down, we had like it was kind of cool. We had like this board up in the main meeting room. It was like this knockdown board.
Oh yeah,
where like to see who gets the most knockdowns. And the one year I had over 50 knockdowns. The next closest was like 20. I literally went out there and I just tried to destroy people every game. And I was like, even with the concussions, I just didn't care. The one year, like I went full out and I didn't care. literally was not knocking people down like every kickoff. I was going down and just throw people around, knock them down. And I had over 50, and the next closest was like 20.
Do you think part of the not caring of the concussions was the adrenaline you got from the recognition behind it?
Yeah.
Because certainly it's not. I don't think anybody, and I think yourself included, would go, I'm making $100,000 and I'm going to wreck my head for $100K. There's got to be more drive to it than a financial.
Yeah. I mean, think about it. It's not the same for everyone. Like when you're in your 20s, you're kind of just out there. You're looking for a place to belong, and you want people to like give you validation. Like when you're young and 20, like whether it's like going there and meeting a bunch of girls, you want them to make you feel good. That's how you find your validation. Or whether it's getting a good job, or whether it's like you're with your boys and you're drinking and you want to like outdrink your buddy, or like that's what I was, this phase I was in. I just wanted to like impress my buddies,
Your peers.
my peers.
Yeah,
I wanted
for sure.
to.
So when that happened, and I don't know how much you want to go into it, but you had told me about it's your re-signing year for a new contract, and they sent Winnipeg Blue Bombers sent you over to the Winnipeg Jets of the NHL.
So
how did that happen?
All right. So I was just about to get there. So my left arm wasn't working because I hurt my shoulder, but I didn't want to get taken out of the game. I want to stay in there.
Yeah.
And so like the next time on kickoff, there was one of those werewolves, one of those dudes that just do not care. He wants to lay someone out, look good on film with it for his peers, right? He came down there full speed. The ball was over there. Like he was just coming at me. Like he could have just went like this. I wasn't even trying to block him, to be honest with you. I could have had one arm.
Yeah.
And he came down there and just came full speed at me, hit me right in the head. I didn't fall down, but he hit me right in the head. And I was really concussed. I was really rocked. And I actually went out there for like a couple more plays, and I was like, nope. So what I did was I went to the trainer and told him it was my shoulder, which my shoulder was hurt. They took me out of the game because of my shoulder and not the head. And that was the last nail in the coffin, where it was like, I knew that I was getting close to like
the end.
Because what happened was for a full week, for the full next 2 weeks, I was out for the next game. But for the next 2 weeks, I literally woke up every morning and I felt like I was like in a movie, like I was in a fog. I woke up and I was just I felt like I was dreaming. And I was going in and I was like looking at the plays, like whatnot. And I was just like, what is this? Like I was reading the plays. I'm like, what is this, like Chinese? Like,
is that right?
I couldn't even like understand. Like usually I'm a very mental person. I would like imagine myself doing the play, like boom, boom, like blitz this way or like cut in like this. And I remember like looking at the plays. I was like I couldn't even like think of it. Like I didn't even know like I couldn't I wasn't able to process the information.
Wow.
And this happened for like 2 weeks. I was hoping like it would go away.
That's
but
a long time, man.
It kept going. It kept going on. And what happened was we had the player, it's called the PA, like the Players Association came in and talked to us about like I don't know what they talked about that day. But at the end, I came up with a good plan. And I went to the PA because I was supposed to have get a big contract the next year. So I went to the PA and I'm like, this is a situation. Like, I think there could be something wrong with my head. Like, I'm messed up, but like I'm under contract and I really don't want them to think that I'm having like head issues. Could we possibly could you help me out? Could I get some tests done like away from our training staff?
Yeah.
Because I don't want it to affect my contract.
Wow.
And they're like, yeah, sure. So they got the Winnipeg Jets to take me in. They sat me down for an hour, asked me a bunch of questions, and they went and did a CAT scan. And apparently, even with concussions, like 99% of the time, the CAT scan shouldn't show anything.
Not gonna show it, yeah.
But like it came back and they found like a bunch of dry blood, like all in the back of my head.
Yeah.
Like a bunch of dry blood. And like they were able to indicate, I don't know how they were indicate, but they told me that this was happened at least 3 years ago. So like my entire career, like I knew this, but like my entire career I played with a brain bleed. My brain was bleeding the entire time. And he was like, yeah, like if you continue playing, like you're gonna die. And like, I'm not even kidding you. Like, I swear to God, when I say this, my initial thought when he said like you could die, like I was like, yo, let me play one more game. I was like, let me play. We were playing in BC, the BC Lions. I'm like, all right, just let me play next week, and then we'll tell them.
Yeah.
Like for some reason, I was wanted to play one more game.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want it to end that way.
And so how did it end up ending?
So the reason I snapped out of it when he said, do you want to have, because one of my biggest goals in life is I want to have a family and kids. And he was like, do you want to have kids and a family one day? You want to be able to play with your kids?
Yeah.
He's like, you will not be able to do that if you continue playing. You're going to be like, he said you're going to be like a vegetable. And you're not even going to probably get to the phase where you have kids.
Wow.
That's when it's like, oh, crap.
That woke you up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this is going to be real personal, but knowing what you know now, you don't have kids right now.
Yeah.
Do you think you'd look back and regret that if you don't have kids? Or are you now at a point in your life where you're like, even if I don't have kids, it wasn't worth my health to do that?
I think I went out. I think I left the game at the perfect time.
Good.
Because I feel fine. Like you guys are talking to me.
Yeah.
So far, so good.
So
buddy.
far,
He's
all of a sudden you
rolled
just,
4 times. That's it.
I know, right?
I usually after like an hour or so, like on podcast, I start to like.
Yeah. But we're just such energetic guys that it's easy to talk to us.
I might just start to like mumble like.
If you start looking at the ceiling, we'll cancel the show.
we know when to cut her.
Well, we're at an hour 45, just so you know. So you're doing 45 minutes longer, so that's good.
You're passing. You're crushing records already. Let's go.
Here you go, another record. It started with grade 9 TIS, crushing them.
I'm the smartest 50 concussion man in the world.
We'll give you that title. Back to the winner's couch.
Instead of a trophy, we'll give him a bib, like a drool bib.
That's too far.
Too soon? Sorry.
Don't make the guy angry.
Yeah, I know. So you go to the Winnipeg Jets. You go through all of that. Are they the ones that break it to the Blue Bombers? Like, yeah, he's done.
Yeah, they literally told me like under my own good faith, like can't allow you to play. Like, there's no way we're not going to say something.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, they have your health.
Yeah.
And if you played and something happened on the field, they could technically be held liable.
Yeah.
Consciously and professionally.
So what's that like then, Trent? I mean, you've said it numerous times where you're Trent the football player.
Yeah.
What's that transition like for you to go from Trent the football player to, I think you're 24 at the time?
Yeah.
24 when you are now retired as a pro football player.
Yeah.
And have
I was
to
in
figure
my
out,
prime too. In my prime.
and you have to figure out life. What did that look like for your mental health? What if you can walk us through that experience for you, where all of a sudden you go from being this high level athlete in your prime at a young age and going to be set probably financially very comfortably in your next contract to guess what? You're not playing anymore.
Yeah.
Coming back to Brockville.
Living in my dad's basement.
Living in your dad's basement. What year was that now? Like 2018? I forget now.
Yeah.
I mean, 2018
Yeah.
or so. So what was that transition like for you?
It was just I remember like people kept asking, like, in my town, small, 22,000 people, Brockville.
Yeah.
And I just remember being so irritated by people asking me, like, yo, like, what happened? Like, why are you not playing? Like, blah, blah, blah. And I just remember being so angry at people when people would ask me these questions. Like, I remember actually like getting mad at a couple people and like, this is none of your business. Like, screw off, buddy.
What part of it made you angry though? Was that it was none of their business, or that they were so invested in your career? Because I mean, they're clearly asking you because they're invested in the success of Trent, the Brockville kid.
100%. I shouldn't have acted that way. Like, I'm embarrassed the way I acted after that, but I totally understand why I was acting like that. I was depressed.
For sure.
And my whole identity was like, I wasn't even sure who I was. Like, my whole identity was Trent the football player, and now I had to, like, now I wasn't sure who I was.
Yeah.
And so let's talk about the weeks and months post Trent the football player. Dad's basement.
Yeah.
Living at home. What went through your head at that point?
I'm not sure. I was just trying to figure out what I wanted to do with my life. I was just trying to figure out what I want to do with my life, and I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. You know,
Yeah.
I wasn't sure what I wanted to do, and yeah.
So I mean, we've talked about it before. You hit a point where you were depressed. You're going through that. Then within relatively, I'd say a rather quick time period, you decided that you still needed athletics in your life.
Yeah.
So then you decided at that point that you were going to get into bodybuilding.
Yeah.
So I think it was
I knew right away, like right when literally right after I got the concussion. So the weirdest part was I had to like hang around with the team, like even though I wasn't on the team for like a couple weeks, because they were doing like it sounds ridiculous, but they were giving me like neck massages. Like that was the treatment for like the brain bleeding. I was getting some neck. They told me to hang around and do like treatment, but the treatment was like neck massages.
Wow.
That'll work.
That's, and that's scary though, that there's
Not a lot.
in the athletics, there's a lot of these, and these are pro teams, and there's money invested in them, and their course of action is so minimal with it. I mean, at the clinic here, we see a lot of people that come in, with post concussion. Right away they're getting under chiropractic care. They're either Dr. Brian, Dr. Alina. They're seeing our MD, Dr. Ben, and they're getting in with photobiomodulation, like red light therapy, and started treating right away. And ironically enough, we're seeing significant improvements with these individuals very quickly.
Yeah.
And a pro team such as Winnipeg or any CFL team that doesn't put those resources into their team it's unfortunate. It's sad.
Yeah.
But so you went from that to fast forwarding to you decided that you're going to get into bodybuilding.
Yeah, I'm not even joking. Like literally, after I got told I wasn't able to play football anymore, like the next day, I was like in the gym working out. I already knew that I was gonna like I'm the type of person, like I'm very driven, like,
Oh yeah.
and like I don't want to make it all too depressing with the whole like identity thing. Like yes, I lost my identity, but no way, shape, or form did I think my life was over. Like I was not like I was depressed, yeah, but I wasn't like it would take a lot after everything I've been through. It would take a lot to kill me. Like I'm the type of guy like if you try to like you're gonna have to like kill me if you're the only way to stop me is you're gonna have to kill me. Like
But would it be fair to say that you might have lost your persona, but not necessarily your identity? Because as far as like from the very short time I've known you, like you're one badass dude. Like you fuck shit up.
Yeah.
Right? So you'll get the beat on that. but to me, that's your identity.
Yeah.
And I think that's pretty awesome. So I think once you realize that you're no longer the persona of a football guy, but you're a guy who fucks shit up.
Yeah.
Right. So then now you're going to go to bodybuilding.
Yeah.
And then that's the next transgression of your character.
yeah.
Right.
So
and then
I think because I wasn't able to see my true potential in football, I had this burning desire to see my full potential in something else. And I was always told my whole football career that like I had a really good physique, natural physique. I've had many times after football games, I'm not even kidding, guys would come over and ask me like, yo, like, what's your workout plan? Like how you get your arms like that? Like all the time I've always been told that I should do bodybuilding, that I have a really good physique and whatnot.
Yeah.
And I'm not even joking. Like I always enjoyed getting ready for this season, almost like more than the football itself. I always enjoyed the process of getting bigger, faster, stronger.
Yeah.
I love that process. And right after excuse me, right after I got injured, I was in the gym working out. I already knew what I was gonna do. I was gonna like, I wasn't like sure. I didn't have the plan developed in my head, but I was gonna do. I was gonna develop a really good physique. I wasn't sure if I was gonna like compete in bodybuilding, but I knew I was gonna make something happen.
Yeah.
And this is funny. This is silly, but there's this song that always comes to my head that I played over and over again after I got injured, and it's a cheesy song. It's called "Finest Hour," and one of those lyrics in it is like it's a very emotional song, but it's like a cool. It's a good song. It's like a good dance kind of song.
Yeah.
And it's like this isn't my finest hour, and I kept saying that over and over again.
Who sings that?
Cash Cash. It's from Cash Cash.
Okay.
Like
Okay.
this isn't my finest hour. Like
Yeah.
I kept saying it over and over again, like constantly. I could listen to that song like literally like 1,000 times. I kept saying it, and it would get me so fired up because like I was telling Mark, but like I'm really big on like I create narratives in my head, like and it's like after I finished in the CFL, I kept envisioning all these people, like the football players I played with that I didn't like, the coaches that didn't like me, everyone who was like kind of happy that I'm not playing football anymore, like all my haters. I just imagined them all in my head, and I was just like, when I was playing that song, like this isn't my finest hour. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna show all you guys. Like you guys thought like that was my finest hour playing CFL.
Yeah.
Like this is not my finest hour. And I'm going to show you guys. Like immediately after, like I had this mindset where I was like, this is not my finest hour.
So, and then you got to a point where it was 2019. You're training.
Yeah.
You're crushing the training. Your physique was extremely impressive.
So I told Mark this. This
point.
was the triggering point. I was on Instagram, and I'm looking at all these guys that had these great physiques, and they were making a bunch of money off their physiques, and they were going on these trips and getting all this validation, and getting all this recognition, and their physiques were good, but nothing like insanely good. And I looked at these guys, and I just like, I said, these guys are taking everything that I've worked for. Guys are taking what I want.
Yeah.
And my main focus was like, I'm gonna like beat these guys. I saw it. My competitive spirit came out, and like these guys, I'm gonna beat those guys.
Who are some of those people? Let's put them on point here.
Just like these random, like, these Instagram dudes that just like, that have like good, clean physiques, but like they're nothing like that special. Like there's guys I really look up to. Like they're not like Chris Bumstead. Like Chris Bumstead's physique was like a million times better. But there's a lot of guys that like think they're Chris Bumstead, and they get like paid a bunch, and they have all these sponsorships. Like these Gymshark athletes, man. There's like a bunch of those guys are just like they barely work out.
Yeah,
they had like the little cute abs, like 6 abs, and like
abs.
and like girls like them because they have like the model look to them, but like they don't know what real hard work is. Like they don't have like developed. Like, the way I tell someone's physique, you look at their legs. That's how I tell someone's. That's what separates a good physique from a great physique. Is someone has legs.
Yeah,
anyone can get like big arms, good chest, and some decent abs, but like legs actually takes like. For me, I take myself to like a dark place to get my legs the way they are.
Yeah.
Like when it comes to leg day, like I know if the only way for me to get good legs is like I need to like be prepared to like die during the day workout.
Yeah.
I listen to like my hard stuff for legs.
So
I looked at these guys and I was like, I want to, in life, you want to have experiences. Like you want to experience, right? To me, it's not about money. It's about it's the experiences that come with the money. So like a sponsorship, I want to have these cool experiences. I want to be able to meet cool people. Like I get to meet you guys because of my accomplishments. I got to meet 2 cool people like you guys. I want to continue to meet cool people. I want to continue to do other podcasts. I want to continue to go on other trips. I want to continue to meet new people and reshape my mind. And I feel like that's what life is about, is meeting new people. Like we're social beings. We're supposed to meet people. For sure. Unless you're an introvert, I mean. Yeah. But like, so I saw this and I'm like, yeah, I don't know if I want to compete or not, but I know I want to have what these guys have, which is like sponsorships and these experiences. I want these experiences.
That was the goal. So you started training and then COVID hit. And I think the cool story, if I can quickly share it here with everybody. But COVID hit, and I said to Trent, "So, what are you doing for training?" And Trent's response was, "I'm in my dad's gym using a Bowflex."
Did you break it?
And he's in his dad's gym in the one corner, and there's a Bowflex set up, and so he trained through and prepped for your first show
Wow.
on a Bowflex. So everybody that's listening that thinks you have to have the big fancy membership and spend all this money on that, Trent transformed himself into a bodybuilder on a Bowflex in a gym in Brockville, Ontario.
Ian was coaching me, Ian Valier.
Yes. And
That's bad. That's bad.
yeah. And Ian's coaching him. And the physique that you had.
It was good. You took pictures.
Yeah, it was damn good. It was, we went to
The warehouse.
the warehouse and we were there and hanging out that day, and Trent gets down to his skivvies to pose for it, and I'm looking at this behemoth of a man thinking, Jesus, like, you're an amateur bodybuilder who just took up bodybuilding,
Beast.
the physique is significantly better than a lot that are out there. And not that I'm one to judge, but someone who is very new to bodybuilding that Trent was, and he walks out, and so you did your first show in when was it? It was 20.
It was like 2 years ago.
2021. What show was it though that you did? Montreal, yes. So you did that. Growing opportunity for you.
Yeah. I first want to state just, I don't know who's listening to this, but I first want to state that, like, I want to give a huge shout out to, like, Ian, Chris, and Melissa, because they, like, paved the way for, like, a lot of people like me.
Yeah.
Like, they inspired me to want to get into bodybuilding. I came here, I moved to Stittsville, and my whole plan was I wanted to be coached by Ian because of his name. And I used to watch Ian, and I used to go to the gym with Ian and see Chris there, and they inspired me a lot. And particularly, I'll be honest, particularly Ian. Ian's always really inspired me because of, to me, there's a lot of guys with good physiques, but, like, at the end of the day, it's like, what can you do with your physique? And, like, Ian, we know what he can do. He can lift, like, arguably the strongest bodybuilder in the world. Like, he can lift. I seen him incline bench press 5 plates like it was 135.
Yeah.
I've never seen a guy that strong in my life. Like, his strength was insane. And the competitor that I am, like, that's all I need. All I need is I just need to, once I saw him bench 5 plates, the competitor I am, and I know if he was to hear this, like, he would probably appreciate me saying this, but, like, I didn't fanboy him. I wanted to be stronger than him. I saw him lift, and my goal was I wanted to beat him. I wanted to lift more than him. I've always wanted to beat anyone I saw in the gym. I always wanted to be better. I wanted to lift more. I wanted to have better physique, and I saw him as someone I wanted to be better than, but, like, a healthy competition. It's not like I have so much respect for those guys.
For sure.
Like, and they're the reasons why. Like, if I ever make it in bodybuilding, like, I'll always say, like, those guys that help inspire, like, the guys in Ottawa to push to new levels. And seeing what Ian's done has made me want to achieve more and get stronger. I'm constantly trying to push my limits as he pushes his limits. But the biggest thing is, like, when you see someone in person, though, like, you can look on Instagram, I can see a bunch of strong dudes, but it's different when they come from your actual town that you're, like, from. Like, seeing someone like Chris, what he's able to do, and Ian and Melissa, what they're actually able to do, and they're actually from here. It's, like, really inspiring. So I just wanted to say that, but also, like, I moved to Ottawa to be coached by Ian. I learned a lot from Ian, and I'm very grateful for everything that Ian's done and continuing to do for the bodybuilding community.
We're gonna have Ian on soon enough. Your headphones are actually Melissa's, the ones that you're using right now. We're borrowing them from Mel, but she was on the last podcast, and yeah, those that don't know Ian, he is by far the most dedicated pro bodybuilder. I've met a lot, but my God, the dedication that man has it's inspiring. Even if you're not a bodybuilder, dedication and passion for something in life, to have that dedication to it, and it's an unbreakable mindset that he has. It really is.
It really is. I'm big in like psychology. I love to study like athletes, and like Ian's on a lot of podcasts, and I got a good feel for like his personality to a certain extent. And that guy is like literally a freaking machine. Like his mindset is just, it reminds me of like, I think the guys with the strongest minds in the world are like some of these MMA fighters. Like being able to fight someone in front of your family, in front of like millions of people, and like even to have the balls to even step in the octagon, like you can't say anything. And like I compare and I like to like analyze different athletes. I love to listen to like interviews of like Tom Brady, like Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan. I love to dissect different personalities and different mindsets. And when it comes to the mindset of Ian, it's just like I remember he was saying like he doesn't even like eat. He eats food. He doesn't even eat for taste. Like he just eats it.
No.
He just eats it. Like he's so
Food is
disciplined.
fuel.
Yeah, he literally sees it as 100% fuel.
Yeah, it's not an enjoyable thing. It's just
eating.
I need that to get bigger and stronger and dense and
But like when I say machine, we got to actually like break that down. What does it mean to be a machine?
yeah.
Like he's literally like, it doesn't matter what you do, he's gonna do exactly what he's supposed to do every day, and you're not gonna stop him from doing what he's supposed to do.
He's
Like,
pretty much the Ronnie Coleman of this era. Because I don't know if you ever followed his documentary, but like he was the same. Like food is fuel, and like never cheated on his meals, and he was just so disciplined, right? But that's where you see the physiques of these guys are so incredible. Like it's next level.
It's impressive. And
like the grainy, like you can tell when someone actually lifts heavy by like they have like a grainy look to their muscles. Yeah. And he has this like grainy, like you can tell, like just look at his muscles, he can like lift a house. Some guys are just like kind of look like balloon animals. Yeah. They're actually not that strong. Like there's a lot of bodybuilders that really aren't that strong, because I guess the name of the game is it's bodybuilding. It's not powerlifting. But like I have a lot of respect for Ian, because he's not only does he have a great physique, but he's strong too. Like he could pick a dude up and like snap him in half.
Now that you've done 2 shows.
Yeah.
So you did Montreal, then you went on to New Brunswick.
Yeah.
A few months after that. What's next for Trent, the bodybuilder, then?
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Like I'm not gonna sit here and pretend. I got humbled like my first couple of shows. I thought, if I'm being real with you, I thought I was gonna go in there and just destroy everyone, just based off of genetics, blah blah blah. And bodybuilding, there's a lot that goes into it, like conditioning and the posing. It takes a long time. Like there's guys that work like 15 years and they don't even get their pro card. And I've been humbled, and I'm realistic with what I need to work on. Like I know 100% what I need to work on, and I'm basically going to do off season until I make the necessary improvements, and then I'm going to jump into a prep. But I don't plan on competing until like I know 100% that I'm going to be very like dangerous. Like if I can plan on competing, and when I can plan on competing, I don't plan on losing. Like I see guys compete over and over again every year, but they don't make any improvements. It makes no sense. Like if I'm not going to make any improvements, if I don't look at my end at the end of the off season, it's like, all right, what is this physique going to look like shredded? Is it actually going to look any better?
Yeah.
Why would I compete? I'm just wasting money.
Yeah, I think when we were talking about Ian earlier, and I was impressed that watching Ian take a number of years off just to get better, just to improve. And I think it was, and I might be wrong on this, if my memory serves me correct, it was Ian did the Vancouver Pro and wasn't happy with his results. And then he took, I don't know, it was 2.5 years or something off, and just trained. And is that now where your mindset is to just
I think Ian
train?
did that when he went pro.
He was pro at this point,
Yeah,
yes.
so I mean, I mean, if I'm being real, I don't need to make a ton of improvements. Like I have the size, I have like the shape. I don't need to take too much time off. Like I should be able to compete either near the end of the year or the start of next year.
Yeah.
I just part of it also is like kind of when you're prepping, it's a lot on you like mentally, and like the off season, like you're able to have a little more fun in the off season. Like I don't drink or do anything crazy like that, but like I like going on little trips like Toronto and Montreal and doing stuff like that.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, like I'm trying to live my life too, and while still bodybuild. But like I said, the next time I plan on competing, like it's gonna be like I'm gonna be like a man on a mission. It's not gonna be like a joke.
So, I guess for those that don't know, let's maybe say some good news recently that you've had is that amateur bodybuilder, you get approached for sponsorship.
Yeah.
And what was that like?
So my main goal, after I got certified to be a firefighter, believe it or not, the reason why I didn't pursue firefighting was because I'm actually a really, really bad firefighter. You're like really bad.
Probably also too big for the bunker gear. So
Yeah, like I'm literally I'm not a good firefighter. Like one of the things that people like about me is like they think I'm a realist. Like I see things how it is. And it's like, yes, I can make a lot of money firefighting, but like let's be like people's life is at stake.
Yeah.
And I when I had the SCB gear, like it's the holds like the gas tank when you're breathing. Like I run it because my muscles are so large. You need a lot of oxygen. I go through a tank of the tank so quick that like say Mark is in the building and he's burning. He's burning to death. I'm coming in to save you, Mark. I'm coming in to save you. All of a sudden, I run
Oxygen. You're running out of oxygen.
if I run out of oxygen, you know what I have to do? I have to leave the building and get more. So you're in there burning to death.
Holy shit.
Sorry, Mark, I gotta go. I'll be back in 5.
I have no air.
So like, do you want me to come save you, or do you want do you really want me to come save you?
That is wild that you're consuming that much oxygen.
Yeah. So when we were doing the test,
I'm not surprised, but
when we were doing the test, like we had to do this test, and like I ran out like halfway through the test. We did this physical test, and I ran out like halfway through. But I'm actually in really good shape where like I didn't even like need it, and I was like doing the test no problem.
Yeah.
But they were like, yeah, like that's not good. Like that's not a good thing. And for my testing, I was with 2 girls. I don't know why they paired me with 2 girls, but we had to do this test where like I had to like pretend like I was passed out in the building with smoke.
they had to carry
They
you
had to
out.
try to carry me out.
Oh my God.
And it was an absolute shit show. They couldn't carry me out.
No, of course not.
Well, let's put this into perspective. So you're 310 pounds right now.
Yeah.
Once those that don't know, once you get your bunker gear on, you have your tank and everything.
Yeah.
You yourself are now pushing 400 pounds. So
Really, eh?
yeah. So
Wow.
so those that before anybody goes hating on any females for for not being able to carry Trent out, 300's a lot of weight when it's dead weight to start with. 100 pounds is a lot of weight, dead weight. But when you get to the point where you're 400 pounds,
Dead weight.
dead weight, that, and it's also hard to physically get a hold of somebody, to physically move them. So that's a lot of weight. So
Oh, yeah.
it would be hard for someone even, your size to do that and still consume oxygen and pull them out. So it would be a challenge for sure. So you decided, firefighting's not for
I
me.
just said it wasn't for me.
I'm not good at it. Now you're in the bodybuilding world. Now you're doing that. We're looking at end of the year, beginning of next year. You had mentioned
Oh, the sponsorship.
with
So after I decided I didn't want to do firefighting, like my main goal before the pro card. I know pro card is the ultimate thing I should be striving for as a bodybuilder, but Like, let me ask you guys this question. Like, would you rather have like this slip of paper that says you're a pro bodybuilder, or would you rather want like a $5,000 sponsorship where you're like traveling around the world doing like booth stuff, and you get the experience, you get to go like cool places and have all these cool experiences, meet all these cool people? What would you rather have, a slip of paper that says pro bodybuilder, or like a sponsorship with all these cool experiences?
It's a no-brainer. It's a sponsorship.
Yeah.
And I think the bodybuilding community, some make money, but the vast majority don't. If they even recover their costs to prep for the show, that's considered a win, right?
I think for myself, if I'm picking between the two,
Yeah.
I think the business cap comes on, and I look at what is the long-term projection of the term IFBB Pro when it comes to a financial amount.
I don't think it's much.
And but that's where I would look at it and go, okay, so I now have my pro card. I have to struggle for X amount of years, get my pro card, but then it's the development of my brand that I would be looking at. You and I have had some of these conversations about what's good for you at the time of, right? Like, I think for you yourself right now, I think you made the smart decision, because you have, I mean, you're not going to turn down a sponsorship that you've been offered, which we don't have to go into detail, but I mean, you're sponsored by someone who, growing up, I thought this guy was just a beast. I mean, the biggest forearms that you're ever going to see, like legitimately the biggest 22-inch forearms.
Wow.
Yeah.
So maybe say who you're sponsored by.
By the way, I wasn't saying that I'm making $5K for my sponsorship. I'm not going to talk about how much I'm making, but I'm not making $5K. I just don't want to. I'm making that clear.
Yeah.
No, we won't go into numbers with.
We were
with
just using a
contract
number
stuff.
for the sake of using a number.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So where'd you get your sponsor?
So Frank McGrath has started his own like startup company. What's called Wrath. It's a supplement company, like really strong pre-workouts, really good tasting supplements. The pre-workout has 400 milligrams of caffeine in a scoop. It's kind of like a hardcore brand. They're trying to like bring back more of the hardcore side of bodybuilding back. I was talking about, we were talking about TikToks and like Gymshark. I mean, Gymshark's super, super successful, but when it comes to like bodybuilding, they're not like the most hardcore brand. We got a lot of posers these days, like just pose on Instagram, and they don't really do the hard work. And this brand is just trying to bringing back the hardcore side, and the people that are kind of being alienated these days, the ones that are just like working really hard and developing these like really good physiques, freaky physiques, but maybe not getting the recognition they deserve. So this brand is kind of bringing those guys out to life, you know.
Yeah, I think what Frank has done, which I love, is that really our generation of bodybuilders was Lee Press. You have Frank himself, you have Dorian Yates. You have these guys that are in the basement in these like really shitty gyms, and just crushing it. And Flex Magazine was a big one back in the day, and that's exactly. And I haven't talked to Frank about this at all, but that's exactly the vibe that I feel when I see his brand and marketing is exactly that old school, 80s, 90s bodybuilder vibe. Right?
The golden era of bodybuilding.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool to see. So since that, you get the sponsorship. I mean, we went out, celebrated.
Yeah.
You hopped on a plane a couple days later. You went to Dallas?
No, I went to Toronto.
And
Some filming for them.
filming then? Yeah.
And the Pure Muscle Fitness.
Yeah.
Their facilities is like in Texas.
Yes.
A lot of their facilities, but we do a lot of the guys that work for the company are in Toronto, so we're doing filming for that. I'm just really excited to go on some adventures this year. We're definitely going to be going to Texas. We're going to be going to Olympia. We're going to have a booth there.
Yes.
Going to be like there was one point we were talking about possibly going to India, but I don't know. I don't know what I can really say when I don't know.
No.
I
Yeah,
don't
for
really
sure.
know what like deals they have lined up.
Yeah, no.
But like I think we're gonna be going to some cool places, and I'm here for it. Like that's what I want out of life is to have cool experiences. I don't want to just, you know,
I
be in
would. I'd love to be the fly on the wall. You in India. I was there 2019, and I was abnormally large for for everything in India, vehicles, restaurants. It didn't matter. I was abnormally large, and I can only imagine you walking in. I thought I had a lot of people taking pictures of me, but that would be funny. That'd be a good experience for you, anyways. You're certainly on the path to success in the bodybuilding world, and you're certainly on the path to these adventures that you're looking for.
Yeah.
That's what you're looking for. You're certainly getting the buddy, and I'm certainly proud of you because I've seen the journey, and it's pretty exciting to see where you're at now. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, I've always been just a very ambitious person. Like, we didn't really talk about like I'm on the Just Dustin YouTube channel.
Yeah, I was. Well, that's what we're gonna get into now. There,
And that kind of goes into like I like to think of things as like dreams and goals and dreams, and like I see goals as things you can achieve within, you know, a shorter span. Like they're more realistic dreams. They're realistic, but they're also they require multiple goals to happen in order for a dream to work, in my opinion. And I have aspirations of like getting possibly maybe one day into acting and maybe film. And like right now with the Just Dustin videos, I see that as entry level like acting. And I've been doing it for like 3 years. Just Dustin is like a destruction channel I'm on. It's where like most
YouTube.
Yeah, it's where most of my followers and fans are from the Just Dustin videos, and I really enjoy doing it. I love entertaining people and making people laugh. Like I'm really silly on there.
Yeah,
And
let's talk about that because here you have another local personality who decided one day to start up a YouTube.
Yeah.
I think it's over 5.5, almost 6 million followers now.
That's wild.
YouTube
Here in Ottawa.
here in Ottawa.
Yeah.
You know, so shout out to him. I mean, he's crushing it. He's doing it smart. He really is. And a smart move was he brought Trenton, and when you're there, I think one of the cool ones that at the warehouse when we were there the one day, it was that case of I think it was $10,000 was in this supposed to be indestructible case, and he shipped it all across North America, which is crazy. $10,000 in that clear case, and he shipped it to all these different YouTubers, and I apologize if I'm getting the story wrong, but essentially he shipped it all over and said, you have this much time to get into it. If you can get into it, 10 grand's yours. There you go. There's 10 grand. Anyways, nobody got into it. They gave you a chance to do some of that stuff too, where you're there. What's the hammer?
Sledgehammer?
The sledgehammer that you have there. What's the
Unbreakable Sledgehammer?
the unbreakable sledgehammer. What's that?
So like I'm my character is known to be like lethal with the sledgehammer. If you give me a sledgehammer, I can break into like almost anything. But like a lot of times that's like the final weapon. We do a lot of weapon progressions. We'll start with like something small, like a very like maybe even like a pencil, and then we'll work towards like a massive like 60-pound Hulk breaking sledgehammer. And that's when I just like go to work, and the kids just love seeing like things like destruction and things like blow up and break. And I have a lot of fun with the channel. We've done lots of cool stuff. We armored up like multiple vehicles. We'll like put like money in there. We rented out Saunders Farm. We did like different videos there. We've had we've done so much. What else we do? We had this. What's the type of metal? It's the second strongest metal in the world. We had this.
Titanium? No.
Might be. We had this type of like little 6x6 block that weighed 180 pounds. A 6x6 block. It was the second strongest metal. It was in the world, and it literally like every weapon was just breaking. It was like insane. Like something like 6x6
6 inches by 6 inches.
180 pounds. Like, it's crazy because, like,
Wow.
there's a guy in the gym who was like a 45-pound plate, like this big. This was like way smaller, and it weighed like 5 times as much.
Wow. That's,
We couldn't.
I'd love to know what that was.
If you looked at if Google, it would be like 2 seconds. It was
Here, you Google it. You Google it for us.
We don't have any video right now.
No. We're off video. So those that are still listening, we ran out of video 20 minutes ago. Again, we're still learning this podcast thing.
We'll get there.
So you're doing all these things. What's it like for you when you talk about Trent the football player now being recognized by kids and youth as Trent the YouTuber now? What's that like?
Is it osmium or iridium?
yeah, I think it's one of those.
Iridium, the 2 densest metals on Earth.
Uranium, I think.
Iridium. That sounds right.
Literally just breaking everything. Wow. Like, it was, every weapon was just breaking off. It was the most fascinating thing I've ever seen in my life. Like, a little block. It was so dense. Like, it was like the metal would just like evaporate when you hit it. Everything would just break. It was unbelievable. It was like some like Iron Man.
I want to get him on the show and ask him where the hell he gets these things.
Yeah.
So another YouTuber sent it to us. It's the same like as a lot of YouTubers. They do collab.
Can you imagine what? I know what it's like to get something UPS to the clinic here, and it costs a lot. Like, just to get supplements here, it costs a lot of money. I can't even imagine a 6x6 that weighs 180 pounds.
Yeah.
What they're paying to get it shipped.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Imagine it comes on a flatbed. This little piece of steel.
It was like mind blowing. I couldn't believe how heavy it was.
Wow. That's pretty interesting. I want to. So that's on his YouTube.
Yeah.
So those listening, where can we find you on YouTube there?
Just Dustin.
Just Dustin.
Just Dustin, and then your personal Instagram profile.
Tcorn613.
Cool.
Yeah.
But like when it comes to all this stuff, being like used to be Trent the football player to now Trent the YouTuber, the athlete. I never like the one thing I learned after the football experience is like you never want to put yourself in a box.
Yeah.
And like I don't want to be known as Trent the YouTuber. I don't want to be known as Trent the bodybuilder. I don't like being called a bodybuilder. I really don't. Yeah. I'm just an athlete. I'm just an athlete. Like an athlete is someone who can do multiple things. Like a bodybuilder kind of puts you in a box. And I know there's people out there like that just want to be bodybuilder. They just want to be a bodybuilder, right?
Yeah. And
that's all I care about. But if you're actually trying to, from like a business standpoint and from a marketing standpoint, like if you're just trying to be a bodybuilder, I mean, it's just fine. In order for you to become really successful in terms of sponsorships, you just got to be like a really, really good bodybuilder. But like with me, like I haven't accomplished a lot in bodybuilding yet. I got a sponsorship. It's because I'm more than just a bodybuilder. I have personality, like in terms of from the YouTube and from the football. I've developed like I want to be a well-rounded individual. I want to be well-rounded. I don't want to just be some meathead who just works out and just tries to get big every day. Like I want to be. That's why I want to get into movies. I want to do multiple things. Like I don't want to be just a one thing.
Well, you clearly have a diverse demographic of people watching you. You have, obviously the football people. You have the YouTube people. Now you have the bodybuilder community that's looking at you, because I think it's fair to say that a lot of people in the bodybuilding community are looking at you going, well, what's this guy going to do next? Well, like he's an amateur bodybuilder, and this is what he's showing up with.
Yeah.
What potential? But it's the same as what you went through your career with football. What's the potential there?
Yeah.
So I think a fair question then, that I've been curious is that you tend to not settle. You always go. You're ambitious, you're driven. Couple questions here. One part, is Trent ever going to be satisfied as Trent? And if so, what's that going to take for you? Because you've been the pro football player. I think it's clear to say in the next 2 years we're going to see the pro bodybuilder with a pro card. successful on social media, what's it going to take for you to be happy with who you are?
When it comes to a bodybuilding standpoint, I never like to put like all my validation through like the judge's eyes. I was telling Mark, I have like an image in my head of the physique I want to attain. I have like this dream physique I want to attain. And like I feel very confident that it will do well, like on the stage and do well. But people see life in different ways. Like the way I see life is I see it like as a boxes I want to check off. There's boxes I want to check off before I get to the phase. I'm a single guy. I'm trying to be as selfish as possible. I'm trying to do everything I want to do. So by the time I get married and have a family, I don't need to be selfish anymore. That I have achieved and I've done what I needed to do. Like, for example, like a football player. Like football players, like Tom Brady, for example, like he's at the point now where he's like content with his career, like 7 or 8 Super Bowls. Like he had an amazing football career. And I think he's finally at the point where he's content with, just he's done with football and he wants to enjoy his family.
But now his wife is with a Brazilian jiu-jitsu master.
Yeah.
I think he should have stopped at 6 Super Bowls.
I mean, you can say that, but like in his heart, he needed that extra year. Maybe he would have had regrets. Like I just don't want to have any regrets when I'm older. I want to be able to like to live my life to the fullest while I can.
Yeah.
I'm a firm believer. Like this may sound dark, but like this isn't for everyone. But my dad told me is like, I'm in the best position like I'll ever be in my life. Like I have the unlimited freedom. I can wake up tomorrow and if I want to get a new job, I can. I can do anything I want. I'm a single guy. I have responsibility, yes, but I can do whatever I want. I can pursue whatever goals.
Yeah.
I have enough money where I can pursue dreams with the bodybuilding. So right now I'm in the best position possible. There's gonna be a time where others will be relying on me when I'm married with kids, and I won't be able to do those things. So to me, I see it as boxes, and I want to accomplish these goals. And once I accomplish them, then I will let out a big breath of air, and I will be content with moving on to the next phase of my life. Life is about phases. Like I'm in this phase where I'm pursuing my dreams. In my mind, I have a 3 to 5 year plan where I have these goals. If I don't achieve them, I mean, let's be real. I don't want to be like, I'm realistic. I want to be able to play with my kids. So that means I need to have them like
no more concussions.
no more concussions.
Yeah.
I don't want to be like really old when I have kids where I can't like enjoy them and play with them, right?
Yeah.
So like I want to have kids probably around 30, 35 to 40.
Yeah. Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, we just had this conversation with Melissa and talking about being a pro athlete, but then wanting to have that family and what that looks like, right? So, and I think for everybody it's different. It's different timing. It's different. You have a different point in your life.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's what I want. I mean, growing up, my family, we didn't have the best, like the biggest reunions. Like, my Christmas is like kind of depressing. Like, it almost feels like they feel obligated to be there. It's not enjoyable.
Yeah.
I want to have a big family one day so that when I have like dinners or I go to my dad's for dinner, I want there to be a big family. I want us all to enjoy and love each other. And that's something I've dreamed of. That's one of my dreams too, is to have a big family. Like we can all love and enjoy each other and actually want to be there with each other. Because to me, it makes me sad. Like when I go to these family gatherings and it's just like, it doesn't feel like, I don't feel the love and the positivity.
It doesn't feel authentic.
No, it doesn't feel.
Big families are great. Like, I grew up with 9 aunts and uncles, and they all had like 4 kids each.
Yeah.
So, and I remember like as a child, like we would, my grandfather had a farm, so we would like, go to his home, which was literally a farmhouse with a barn. And then one of my uncles would come in dressed like Santa Claus on a real sleigh with real horses, like surreal. But
That's
like
amazing.
we would sang carols, and it's like I had the pristine Christmas childhood, epic. We even would take sleigh rides and go get maple syrup from his maple farm that he had. Like, it was like making maple syrup. It was like, oh, it was so sick. Yeah.
No, that's what I want. Like,
Yeah.
that's one of my dreams is to have that, like stuff like that. Because right now, what wakes like, I want to ask you guys this because I'm actually genuinely curious. But like, I wake up every morning, and like, this is gonna sound like the most meathead thing ever, but like, I wake up every morning and it's like, I can't wait to go to the gym and get bigger, stronger, and build this like freaky physique that no one's ever seen before. And I want to blow everyone's mind. Like that's why I wake up every morning. I'm just like I love the feeling of being in the gym, but I just want to build like this crazy physique, and I'm just so ambitious to build this. I love going to the gym. I love the feeling, but I also want to just like I want to look like a zoo animal. I want you to go to. I want to be like a zoo animal. You go in and see like a gorilla, but I don't want to like. And you see a gorilla, you're like, wow, like what is that? Like that's crazy. I want to have like this physique that no one's ever seen before, and that's why I wake up every day and I want to try to achieve that. But like what like what gets you out of bed? What gets you guys out of bed?
For me, it's Alina pushing me. You've been keeping me up all night snoring, so she hits me. I get my ass out of bed shortly after. Well, you answer first, and I'll go.
Yeah, sure. For me, it's definitely my family. Like, I've got 2 beautiful kids, beautiful wife that I love. I've got, my whole family's working with me. I've got such an incredible network. My business partner. Yeah. There's so many things that I can look forward to, and that's kind of you see on my profile, my Instagram. Like, I do martial arts, I dance. I do fitness. All those things, and then I enjoy every experience. So I think life is a challenge. I love the challenges, and I love tackling them, and I get my dopamine rush from accomplishing things. Yeah.
You see, like that sounds like to me that's exactly what I like. Yeah. Like I really look up to Mark because that's what I want. Like that's what I want. And
I appreciate that. 5
to 10 years, exactly what I want. I want my motivation and to switch to like my family and doing all those things. And like to me, like what you said is beautiful. Like that's to me that's like what a real man would say. Like your answer.
I appreciate that.
I should have gone first. No, I think for me, I don't think I know I'm the same. Like, I mean, you both know I have 2 teenage kids, and it's certainly been a struggle as of late with them, and I have an amazing spouse that is so supportive of any crazy idea that I have. But the idea for me is that it's just a matter of hustling right now while I can, and for my family to reap the benefit and myself reap the benefit down the road and create a legacy that I'm proud of. And I've always just wanted when I first had kids, I wanted my kids to be proud of me, but then I wanted them to learn from me and learn from the guidance that I was giving them. And I think there's a point where your kids they idolize you as a parent, right? And I know, Mark, you see this, and then you get a point where your kids then think that you can do nothing right. And I think for me, it's transitioning through all of that, from day to day, starting this clinic, Nobility Performance, and partnering myself with amazing people and having amazing people in this clinic that either work here or come here as patients. That's what also gets me going every day, is that I watch my spouse, who's one of the doctors here, that, I watch her, and she's a brilliant mind. And I look at the passion that she has and the drive that she has, and always wanting to be better and always wanting to grow and learn. And that's what I'm at with my life and career too, is where I'm just always, what gets me up in the morning is just waking up and wanting to thrive and learn, and knowing that now I have this space where I can come in and I'm watching people get healthier and feel better and walk out pain free. And that to me is just the motivation. It's just keep driving and doing that. And I thoroughly love every moment of that. So, you know, and it's cool to share that with your spouse too. It's something that, you know, I saw a lot of people that they go through COVID and then people are breaking up, and we're through COVID and nonstop with each other, and then open a clinic. And then, you know, she eventually came over to this clinic from another clinic, and always together. But it's just such a cool feeling to be at a space in my life where I'm in a healthy relationship. That's something that I have not had in my life. And now as I grow and mature, I see what that healthy space looks like. And that's exciting. And so, you know, for me, it's like that, continually working on that part of life. Then I have my kids, and then I have my business, and watching the three of those merge and mold is a pretty cool. I feel blessed to have the life that I do. You know, I do. And now with opening the podcast, for us, it's exciting. We get to chat with cool people, interesting people, and it's just really neat to hear other people's lives and stories and all that. So it's one of those things where I kind of wake up sometimes and I'm like, wow, this is my life. You know, 20 years ago, I wouldn't have thought that I'd be where I am. And it's pretty cool. You know, it's a really cool feeling to have.
Cool spot to
right?
be.
Oh, it is. It absolutely is. You know, but anyways, enough about us. We're here for you. So we're at the point where we're going to probably wrap this up.
Yep.
You're 2 hours over your limit.
Crushing it.
That you didn't think you'd make it. I hope it's been an easy one for you. You know, I definitely would love to have you back on because, you know, I've always said you're a fascinating guy, and I love talking to you. You know, and we certainly have had some really good conversations off air.
Yeah.
But moving forward, let's recap here where people can find you. They can track your progress, track where you're at and where you're going. So we got YouTube.
Just Dustin. Instagram, tcorn613. And I'm going to continue to push with the bodybuilding. And like, you know, I'm trying to do these different things, but my main focus is the bodybuilding. And I'm going to try to make things happen with that and continue to strive to have a better physique. So
that's exciting, though.
Awesome, man.
Yes, and congratulations on all your success. I can't wait to have you back on once you get your pro card and see where that takes you.
I just want to say it's a huge honor to call you my friend. Like you have one of the biggest hearts I've ever met. You know, you're one of the nicest, most down to earth people. I my ex-girlfriend who met you, she said amazing things about you. She said that I'm absolutely blessed to have someone like you in my life. Like you are such a quality individual, and you have such a big heart. And like I said, it's an absolute honor to call you my friend. And
I appreciate it.
And I plan on getting you some Wrath gear.
Oh.
Once we get some Wrath gear, I told you I was going to get you a shirt, and I'm going to get you that.
Hey, I appreciate it.
Awesome. I second that, by the way.
I'll get you some too.
Good dude. He's a good dude.
No, I appreciate it, guys. It's just being genuine, man. Mama didn't raise no fool, right? No, I think, I really do appreciate that because I've certainly valued our friendship and our conversations. Mark got dragged into this one 3 hours and
oh man, it was a good time. I enjoyed it.
This is kind of what happens when Trent and I get together, and if we're not closing down all you can eat restaurants, we're sitting and talking for hours.
Love it.
And it's good. It's you need those people in your life, and I'm certainly blessed to have you guys in my life and making me a better person. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So on that note, we're gonna call it. But I certainly appreciate it, buddy. Thank you for coming on, and to bigger and better things in the bodybuilding community for you.
Thank you so much.
Right.
Looking forward to seeing it.
Yeah. Congrats, buddy.
Thank you.